Hi everybody, this is Yeli here, and for those of you that don't know me, for those of you that are coming back, welcome. And I do want to start this video by just saying thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your treatment plans. It always gives good ideas for me to have a chat with my doctor, and such was the case today. And I just got back from my doctor's visit. I'm just grabbing my little notebook to kind of relate to you guys what we talked about and how that went. So this is what this video is going to be about, and yeah, let's get into it. For those of you that haven't watched my previous video, today is day 87 on a GLP-1, day 23 on Ozempic. I had my first 0.5 shot of Ozempic on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So today is day 2 after the shot, because even though I had it on Tuesday, it's Tuesday night. So I count Wednesday and Thursday would be the second day. So I have not had any side effects in terms of dizziness or anything like that, but I did have a red splotch. And I stopped Mounjaro because I was getting contact dermatitis reaction. So my allergist said, you know, best to stop it, and my doctor agreed, like my endocrinologist agreed. So we started on Ozempic. She started me on 0.25. The idea was to do 4 weeks on that and not go directly to the equivalent dose of Ozempic, even though I was coming from Mounjaro, because she didn't want that if there was a common inactive ingredient that I was having this allergic reaction to, she didn't want it to flare up too fast. And sure enough, my first shot of 0.5, I saw a red splotch. However, I kind of freaked out yesterday when I saw that. But then I got a hold of my allergist, and today I went over with my doctor. So here's the deal. Here's what's going on. My allergist said, if it doesn't itch, it's not raised, you're not having like anything, like it could just be a little redness, and that's okay. That can happen. So you're good. I like, just because of that, I wouldn't say stop taking your Ozempic shots. Okay. However, he did mention that I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think it was disodium phosphate dihydrate. And apparently I think that's the only inactive ingredient that's shared. I'm gonna look at this and just make sure that it is that one, because I think that's the one. So anyway, he said that is known to cause irritations, right? But it shouldn't be something that you would have an allergic reaction to. So now he needs to investigate a little bit further to see if it could generate some type of contact allergy, right? Which was the contact dermatitis that I was experiencing. So he has a little bit of homework there, and he said he's going to try to find that component as well to test me for it. And hopefully, you know, it'll be that, and we get to the bottom of it. And I know for sure that I'm not allergic to either Semaglutide, Tirzepatide, or any of those, right? Which in my opinion would kind of be like best case scenario at this point, because I do feel that these medicines help me so much. And let me get into that, how they're helping me. So today is the second day after the shot, and that is when I experience the most benefits for me. Or I start seeing them. And then day 2, 3, and then on day 4, I kind of still see them sometimes. So sometimes it's kind of like neutral, right? It kind of, so for me, it goes like this. On day one, sometimes there's not that much. It's a little bit of improvement, but not too much. But then on day 2, it's kind of like it's almost getting to a peak, 2 and 3. And then it might either flatline or start very slowly going down until we get back to day 7, when it's almost like non-existent again, right? So my sugar, much better. And I'm sure you can see the level of energy that I have and I transmit in this video, because having my sugar over 130 really makes me tired. And I have not quite had that. Oh, I forgot to check what my daily average so far is, but I'm sure it's good, because Ozempic 0.5 milligram is doing its job, and it's doing a great job at that. So yeah, it's doing a great job of my sugar, right? And my sugar is really kind of where it should be, and it's rising after my meals, but not 60 points. So I can definitely see the benefit today. And the 0.5 is doing basically what the 5 milligram Mounjaro was doing for me. So I'm here thinking, wow, maybe my body reacts better to Ozempic than Mounjaro, but I can't compare apples to apples, because I started Mounjaro from having sugars over 200, right? And at some point even they were in the 300s. So Mounjaro did a great job of bringing those down. And even though 0.25 Ozempic wasn't the best, I was still below 180, which to me doesn't mean anything because I was above 140. But anyway, so feeling good, right? And my doctor downloads the information from my continuous glucose monitor, and she realized that everything was great. She was like, wow, you are so sensitive to these medicines. That's great. I'm so happy that it's working for you. So we went over the redness, and she and my allergist work for the same network, right? So they're in touch. And I relayed what he had told me, and she was like, okay, so let's keep on doing that, and let's try to keep you on the 0.5 for as long as we can. And I said, yeah, that's wonderful. So I had a few things that I wanted to ask her, right? And of course, we're still watching, because should I get contact dermatitis again, then we need to reevaluate and see what we're going to do. However, knowing what I know already from Mounjaro, I think that even if I were to get a contact dermatitis reaction, I would still finish the doses that I have. I don't think I wouldn't. And it's still the possibility that if we have to titrate down back to the loading dose, that I might not go on Ozempic and I might go on Mounjaro. I don't know. So we're not anticipating ourselves. As of right now, since it's just redness, no itchiness, no anything else, we're going to continue with the plan, which is my 0.5 injection. So I asked her and I said, listen, I'm going to have 0.25 left on the pen. What should I do? And she said, well, of course you need to save that. We're not going to waste that medicine, right? So she was just saying that if I'm okay with injecting twice, to inject 0.25 and 0.25 so that I get my full dose, and that, just do it like that, right? I'm just worried about having enough needles, but I think I will have enough needles. And then just go with a 0.5 until I need to do the same 0.25 and 0.25. And she said, and that's going to help us, because if we do need to titrate up to 1, I think it's best to do 0.5 and 0.25 for a bit, instead of just going ahead and directly titrating and doubling the dose, because that's when I see most people having issues. And I think if we go into it slowlier, like gently, it's going to be much better. So yeah, I'm going to save those 0.25. Now, I also asked her, like initially when I got into metformin, I was prescribed 500 milligrams of the extended release. But I'm a person that for some reason, like I have certain sensitivities to this medicine and I couldn't tolerate that dose. So my doctor said, well, since you can't really cut that pill because it doesn't come in 250, I'm just gonna do the regular one for you then. And you can start with half a pill, and once you're used to it, increase to 500. And I cut the pill in 4. So I actually started on 125 and then I worked my way up because I tried 250 for a day and that was bad too. So, but now that I've been so many years on metformin, I think I can handle the extended release version. It's just that I had not been to an endocrinologist for so many years that I didn't quite have somebody that was just looking at this and that we could go over scenarios. So I'm gonna go, she prescribed the extended release. I picked it up at my pharmacy. I picked up my Ozempic renewal because I only have 1.5 shot left on the pen. And I also picked up the metformin extended release. So yeah, we're trying that. Because typically she doesn't want me doing metformin at night, and because at night my glucose drops and I did have kind of like a drop, so she wants us to just avoid the nightly dose of metformin. Now I don't remember the name and I'm terrible with this. I should have looked at this before coming in here. But one of you guys, and thank you for the information, you mentioned Jardians, and I think, oh yeah, I have the username here, making over 6021. Thank you so much, because my diabetes education mentioned Jardians, and she kind of hinted that that would be something worth trying for me, especially after hearing what was going on with Mounjaro and all that stuff. But I didn't, I wasn't quite convinced at that time. But then when you start hearing the same information coming from different sources, it's like, well, let's just talk about this with my doctor. And so I did. And she said, yeah, I'm fine. And she looked at my labs and she said, yeah, we're good. We can totally do this. So she gave me a sample of Jardians, 10 milligrams. So I'm starting that. I started it today actually because like my appointment was first thing in the morning. So I had it with my breakfast, and I have my regular metformin this morning. I did not have my extended release metformin, but that's fine. Not a problem. So what am I going to be doing? Ozempic once a week, 0.5. 500 milligram metformin in the morning with breakfast, and the 10 milligram Jardians in the morning with breakfast. So that's kind of like my cocktail, if you want to call it that, right? So hopefully all of these things combined are going to work well for me, because the other problem that I've been having with metformin is diarrhea. And I think Ozempic also gives me that. For some people, it could go either way. It could be that you constipated, but I guess it really exacerbates whatever it is that you suffer from. And since my thing has always been that with metformin, that's where it went for me. For some people, it goes for constipation. I do have to say that the day after the shot, I don't experience diarrhea. So maybe, Ozempic for a little bit kind of gives me constipation. I go just once and that's okay. But then as the week progresses, it's like, wow, metformin takes over and it's just really bad for me. And that's why we're trying to also cut back on the doses of metformin. So she said Jardians does not give you any type of GI side effects. She told me what to watch out for in terms of urinary tract infection, which is kind of like what could be seen, or yeast infection. Those are the things that could be seen happening to people with Jardians. And she said, but it's kind of like something that happens with this class of medicines. It's not just Jardians. So if that's what happens, then we need to take you off of it. But let's try and see how it goes, right? We can't know if it's going to work or not until we try it. So we're doing that. And I wanted to ask her what titrating up looked like, but since we're doing all of these things right now, and she kind of told me already that if we were to titrate up, we are just going to do 0.75 of Ozempic, and we're not really, but we're going to try to stay on the 0.5. So yeah, I am excited. I have a new plan, and I have something else to try out in case I need to go back and titrate down, right? So hopefully all of these things are going to work for me, and yeah, and we're going to find the magic combination for me. I know that we're all different. We all have different types of bodies, and for some people they can live with the contact dermatitis that Mounjaro was generating for them, but for me it was quite bad, and it was not even red anymore. It was kind of like purple, angry, and very much itchy. So it was just kind of getting worse, and that was just over the course of 3 doses. So I really don't want to have to experience that, right? If there's another option, if there's no more options, then I need to make a decision, right? But as long as there's other options, that's what we're trying to do. So if my allergist does find this ingredient and I get tested, of course I will update you guys. And what else? So let me share with you. Oh yes, so let me share with you my breakfast. I kind of want to go over that with you guys as well. So I got 1 can of sardines, and they come in olive oil, and that's 22 grams of protein right there. And I squeeze some lemon on it because I can't just eat them on their own. Like I used to eat them with arepas, guys. I can't eat arepas now, right? That's very much high in carbs. That would just be a no-no, total no-no. But I'm okay squeezing some lemon into them and eating them that way. And then I had 3/4 cups of yogurt with a strawberry jam. I didn't have fresh fruit, so I try to do fresh fruit most of the times, but when I don't have it, I just do a couple of teaspoons of the low sugar strawberry jam. And in terms of carbs, that is less than 20 carbs. And in terms of protein, that's 12 more grams of protein. So that's like 36 grams of protein in my breakfast. The thing is that I'm not having 3 meals every single day. So that is why I'm kind of doing the protein shake to help. But I just can't do so much protein in just 1 meal. Like I have to slowly titrate up to that as well, because I've been very poor at eating protein my whole life. So that's my breakfast. For lunch, it was a late breakfast. I had breakfast, I don't know, close to 11, because that's when I got back from my doctor's office. So basically my breakfast, my real true breakfast, was coffee, and this was lunch. But so I don't know if I'm just gonna have an early dinner, or if then I'm gonna try and eat my dinner at 4 when I get back from school with my daughter. And I want to make some pork chops with cauliflower rice. I have a very nice recipe for the pork chops, the cauliflower rice, and if it's not cauliflower rice, some type of salad. So that would be my dinner. And if I'm going to be up until too late, I will try. It's just, you see, after 4 I don't want to eat anymore, right? Even though I get hungry possibly at 8 or 9 p.m., but that's too late. I don't want to be eating something so late. So I don't know what I'm going to do. And as long as I'm not hungry, that's fine. I might just I don't know, do a protein shake before going to bed. I don't know. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do. I don't like it when my day is kind of mixed this way because I go out of my routine for my meals. I like to have my breakfast by 9 so that then I can have lunch before going to pick Elisa up, and then we can all have an early dinner. And sometimes I skip lunch because I'm just not hungry, and I'm not gonna eat if I'm not hungry, right? But anyway, just kind of sharing with you guys. Today I did park as far away as I could from my doctor's office, within the parking lot, because otherwise there's no way to park around those streets. But and then I walked a little bit back and forth, and I got into the car, and I'm going to keep on walking every 30 minutes. I am going to set my timer. I'm going to walk. All my house chores are up to date. I just have a ton of work, and my work is sitting down, but I do need to be very mindful of walking. I will most likely go into Costco or the supermarket today, and I just walked the whole store and get like some steps in that way, even if it's not formal exercise. And then in the evening, I do some like light weights, but some type of resistance type of training exercise, because my diabetes educator said that that was something important to add. And to just kind of do some reps, even if it's just very low weight, to start that way. And if I need to increase, I could totally start doing that later on. And I think what we're doing is we're trying to build me up to a point where there's enough weight loss for my knees and everything to feel better, so that I can also be more active and start doing a more regimented type of exercise, which for me is very hard right now because I have a lot of lumbar issues. I have a herniated disc in my back, and I have arthrosis or arthritis at this point in my knees. I haven't had them checked in a while, but I think I'm at arthritis level right now. So with having all these two things, it gets more complicated for me to move, but there's ways still that I can, because they're still working. It's just painful, but they're still working. So that's what I'm doing, and that's how I'm taking care of myself right now. And I have a plan, and I'm excited for it, and I'll keep you guys updated on how that's going. And I'll also keep you guys updated if there's any type of like side effect that I'm feeling with Jardian. She said that it could give me a little bit of dizziness, which is a little bit of, I'm glad it's going to be in the morning, and I take my shots of Ozempic at night, because Ozempic, the day of the shot, as soon as I get the shot, it also makes me feel a little bit dizzy, so I have to be very mindful of that. I'm going to get my lab work done on Monday. I'm going to try to see if I could do it over the weekend, even if it's as a walk-in. If it's not too busy, I'll go in and stay and do it. If it's crazy busy, then I'll just wait for my appointment on Monday. But I want to get my blood work done as well, and I'll be updating you guys on that as well. And yeah, that's about everything that's going on. Oh no, the last thing I did want to let you know that my doctor did tell me with Jardians, you have to be very, very mindful of being very well hydrated. So that is something that I'm going to be actively working on. I like to have one of these guys, I think it's 32 ounces in here, before I have coffee. As soon as I wake up, do that. That kind of hydrates my body from not being able to drink any liquids at night because I'm sleeping. And then throughout the day, I have a couple more of these, but I'm going to research and see, because I forgot to ask her, like, how many ounces of fluid do you need me to have? But I might shoot a message to my nutritionist and diabetes educator and see if they can tell me how many ounces of water I need to strive for. And yeah, you know what? I'd love to hear from you. Like, just let me know, what is a highlight that you've had this day? Because I'm sharing my highlight of today with you, right? That I have a plan and I have options. So yeah, tell me, what is the highlight of your day? leave me a comment, and then that will not only help me know that you did stay through my whole rambling video till the end, but I love this community. I love sharing with you guys. I love it when you say, you know, your videos are helping me through this journey, because you guys are helping me too, and your comments are helping me as well. And this is super important for me, and I just appreciate you guys so very much. So thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you later. Bye.